All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us today at the museum at Lassen's Resort. I'm Julie Zazada. I'm the executive director here at the Cedar Lake Historical Association, and we're so happy to have you join us on this day where we are fulfilling the rest of our culinary anthropology as well as our INcommon grants, which are offered through Indiana Humanities in cooperation with the National Endowment for the Humanities. So as I've been mentioning all along this past couple of months, we have been doing things to bring the Potawatomi culture to life here at Lassen's Resort. We know that the Potawatomi were the first settlers here in our area in the 1600s, and so what we are trying to do is find ways that we can recognize their heritage, again, culinary as well as their migration patterns through our area. So today is the culmination of that in the form of doing a land acknowledgement. So a land acknowledgement is a process whereby an organization is recognizing the individuals that were here before us, the people who came first. And so what we're going to do, we have formed a partnership with the Pokagon Band of Potawatomi Indians, and we have received guidance from them as our native advisors on how to go about this process and how best to recognize their history and their heritage, as well as form partnerships for the future and ways that we can continue to have programs and other things that we can do to celebrate their culture with them. Not for them, but with them. So we're really happy to have you here with us today, and we are going to not only debut our land acknowledgement, which will be a plaque here in the garden in perpetuity, but also we have a new exhibit. Our Culinary Anthropology exhibit is also debuted. It's in room 1, and when you go inside today, you'll be able to learn a little bit more about the moons that the Potawatomi ended up, their whole lifestyle basically was centered around a lunar calendar. Whereas we have the calendar of January through December, they followed a lunar calendar. And so the cycles and the phases of the moon are what determined the traditions that they would follow. So there was a strawberry picking moon, for example, and so when the strawberries were ripe, that is what the moon was named after. So all of the words as well as the background is all in our new permanent exhibit in room 1. And Chef Eric is also helping us with this program today because he is continuing our culinary anthropology background. So can I please have the menu? Thank you, Chef Eric. So when you go inside after our little dedication here, Chef Eric has prepared 2 different dips that are inspired by ingredients that were native in the Potawatomi diet. So we're going to have the Three Sisters wild rice. So that is a dip, that is a dip with wild rice, quinoa, zucchini, golden hominy, and lima beans. And you will be able to taste that using crostinis, which Chef Eric has prepared for you, and tortilla chips, which we bought at the store, right? Okay. And then we also have the whipped maple cranberry dip. So I love the Potawatomi diet because I'm a huge fan of maple as a seasoning, or as a sweetener, I guess you would say. So this dip has cream cheese, maple syrup, brown sugar, cranberries, oat, and quinoa crumble, and that is going to be served with graham crackers and apple slices. So we will have that for you inside after we conclude our little reading of our land acknowledgement. But I want to thank you all for joining us today and helping us begin this new relationship with the Potawatomi and celebrating their cultural heritage at Cedar Lake. So, I read to you our little plaque here, our dedication. It says, "These native lands. Lassen's Resort was established on the ancestral homeland of the Potawatomi people. They maintain summer and winter encampments on the northeastern shore of the lake that they call Lake of the Redwood." And then both of the words here in Potawatomi are here for you to be able to read. "Here they fished, hunted, gathered, and harvested with respect for the land and intimate knowledge of its ability to sustain life until many were forcibly removed by the United States government. With the Potawatomi peoples today, we are forming a partnership to share indigenous heritage through storytelling and lived experiences as guided by the citizen members of the Pokagon Band of Potawatomi Indians." So again, we want to thank you for joining us here today as we begin this recognition. And then please come inside, enjoy the dips that Chef Eric has prepared, as well as take a look in room 1 and look at our new Culinary Anthropology exhibit. Thank you all for joining us.